What's going on, everybody? This is your tour guide around the SWAC C Wells coming at you with another video today. Y'all make sure y'all lock in with us. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and become a part of the SWAC Talk family by becoming a member. 99 cents gets you a membership to the YouTube channel. We have special perks coming at you. We're going to be dropping special members only videos and shorts. I'm going to have rants and reactions to different things that I want to put there. So if you want to get everything, man, become a member of the Swag Talk crew for 99 cents and get down, man. And so we're going to still be bringing y'all a lot of stuff, swag smoke and everything like that, and all our normal videos. But we also bring y'all that membership tier. So get down with that. Check out the Facebook and Instagram, both Swag Talk, Twitter Swag Talk 76. And now let's get on with the show, man. Let's do it.
Bojo guy. Wednesday, Sundays, catch the ride. Football hoops, we breaking wide. Stats and facts, truth on high. SWAT talk where the combos real. From Texas to Florida, we seal the deal. Just pull up, the vibes are real. Chopping it up, we spin the wheel. Hit the corner of the field, we strategize. Breaking the game down, no disguise. Play by play, we analyze. I wear sharp, we magnify. SWAT talk where the combos real. From Texas to Florida, we seal the deal. Just pull up, the vibes are real. Chopping it up, we spin the wheel. Wednesdays, heat, Sundays, ignite. We talking legends shining bright. Back and forth, day or night. This the plug, we bring the light. SWAT talk with the combos real. From Texas to Florida, we seal the deal. Cats pull up, the vibes are real. Chopping it up, we spin the wheel. Wednesdays, heat, Sundays, ignite. We talking legends shining bright. Back and forth, day or night. This the plug, we bring the light. SWAT talk with the combos real. From Texas to Florida, we seal the deal. Cats pull up, the vibes are real. Chopping it up, we spin the wheel.
All right, everybody, what is going on? How y'all doing? Welcome to today's edition of Swag Talk, the show we cover the swag inside and out. I am your tour guide around the swag. See what else coming at you. And today we're going to take a look at um, the ESPN SWAC 2025 TV schedule, TBD schedule. I think that's what I'm gonna call it. I think I'm gonna call it the TBD schedule because the majority of the games on this list are TBD in terms of the platform that they will be shown on. I mean, I'm sure the majority will be on ESPN Plus. That probably may be a ESPNU game here or there, and I still think there probably will be a Thursday night game out of these. Maybe one of these games will get moved to Thursday night or Friday night. You never know. You never know. But this is the SWAC 2025 ESPN TBD schedule. We're just gonna run through it real quick. We're not gonna spend a whole lot of time on this. It is interesting though that this year the SWAC made all their announcements before Media Day. All of this typically was announced on media day. The all SWAC teams, the player of the year, the TV schedules. All of this typically is announced on media day. But this season is all announced ahead of time, and maybe they should have waited. I don't know, but it's kind of some of these games I don't mind that they TBD because some of these games I think could be on a bigger platform. Um, but some of them, you pretty much know they are ESPN Plus. So, whether that's by design or that's just, what it is, we don't know. But we're just gonna roll with it like it is and just run through the games on the schedule. I do think that, I do think that, the majority of these games are worthy of being on a streaming or a television platform. Um, there was, there has been a little bit of buzz from some people that, every team is not represented on the TV schedule as a whole. There's no games for Valley on any of them, and there were a couple Valley games I thought could be like HBCU goal games. Especially maybe the FAMU Valley game, Jackson and Valley, Southern and Valley, Alcorn and Valley. Those kind of games. You probably figure even the Port City Classic. I think that's what it is with Valley and Bama State. Any of those games could probably be on somebody's screen. Although, they have not announced the SWAC Digital Network games. So, that could maybe that be announced on tomorrow and Valley will get, a couple games there, which, I mean, it's streaming. So I wouldn't really hold too much weight on it. But, you know, Valley, with a new coach and everything, I wouldn't mind seeing them get something. I mean, Pine Bluff got like three HBCU Go games. Bethune got like two or three HBCU Go games. I'm not knocking those guys for that. I think if you're gonna do it, then yeah, everybody should get the recognition, an opportunity, to be on the screen. But that is what it is. So you can't change that. And we're not really gonna we're not really gonna cry over spilled milk. But who knows? Maybe one of them games will get picked up late. You never know. But all in all, like I said, when you combine the two TV schedules, there are a lot of great games televised, and neither these games don't include those non-conference games against FBS opponents and FCS opponents that will be on ESPN Plus. So there will be more games televised, especially in the early portions of the season. But man, I didn't ramble enough, so let's go ahead and get into this. We'll start at the top. Um, First off is the MEAC Swipe Challenge. All times are listed Eastern, so I'm just gonna keep it with that, just to kind of keep my sanity from juggling. So Saturday, August 23rd is the MEAC Swipe Challenge. You got North Carolina Central taking on Southern on ABC. Kickoff time is about 7:30 p.m. So as usual, the last few years, MEAC Swipe Challenge um, has been the prime time game on week zero. This could be one of the last years that is in it. I don't know. Maybe to stay in this slot with FCS teams being able to just play on week zero moving forward. I still think if that's the case, then have a multi-site MEAC Flag challenge. But in the game in Atlanta still be the showcase. But as usual, good opening matchup. So we'll see what happens. August 30th, we have the Orange Blossom Classic kicking off at 4 p.m. on Saturday. The game moved from Sunday to Saturday. So it's Saturday, 4 p.m. Howard versus Florida A&M. That game is on ESPNU. Saturday, September 6th, 7 p.m. You have Alabama State at Southern in the Pete Richardson Classic. That's an ESPN Plus broadcast. Good first game, at home for Southern. I'm not a fan of these non-conference SWAC games, but this is a matchup that hasn't been played a lot in recent years. They played in the spring of 21 and they played in 2023. So, but other than that, they haven't played in a long time. And Bama State hasn't been to Baton Rouge since like 2016, I believe. So it's been a long time. And so, that this could, opening home game uh, for Southern, second game for Bama State. So it should be a good atmosphere. And then after a couple of weeks away, you come back on Saturday, September 27th with Southern and Jackson State. That game will be also a 7 p.m. kickoff. Um, this is the start of the TBD. So basically, from this point on, every game on the schedule is TBD. So just get ready for a constant slate of TBDs. Um, After that, we have October. We have a double header on October 11th. Uh, so that I love I love a good multi game day, and this is definitely one of those where we get to have two games taking place on October 11th. So there is an opening on October 4th. Maybe they can squeeze in that Valley FAMU game there. But right now we have October 11th at 3:30 p.m. We have Bama State at Jackson State, TBD, 7 p.m. Texas Southern at Grambling. From this point on, I'm just gonna stop saying TBD because it gets monotonous. October 18th, we at 4 p.m. we have Alcorn at Florida A&M. October 25th, we have the Magic City Classic, Alabama State versus Alabama A&M. That's a 3:30 p.m. kickoff. I do believe that game. Hopefully that game could be like a ESPNU game or two, depending on what the schedule looks like for most games. But then we move into November, and we get November 1st, Jackson State at Florida A&M, 7 p.m. kickoff. Saturday, November 8th, we get Southern at Alcorn. That's a 4 p.m. kickoff. And then we close out the regular season with November 22nd, a doubleheader. Well, actually, not a doubleheader, but um, actually two games basically at the same time. So I'm assuming one, I don't know how they're gonna put them both, but both games are 3:30 p.m. We have the Florida Classic and the Soul Bowl. Alcorn at Jackson State and Bethune-Cookman versus Florida A&M. That rounds out the regular season. Saturday, December 6th is the SWAC championship game. ESPN2 broadcast, 2 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff. And then the season closes on Saturday, December 13th with the Celebration Bowl on ABC, 12 p.m. kickoff. So there will be obviously more announcements as we, probably as we get closer to the season. Maybe they even come through tomorrow with these. But as they get closer to the season, we'll have more announcements on where these games are going to be slotted, and of course, I'm quite sure we're going to have a few Sweat Digital Network games. But I would not be surprised if one or two of these games are moved to Thursday nights. I don't see a lot of games that would be be worthy of a Thursday night, but they always gonna find one. You might even get a game that's not on here to be one of those Thursday night games because honestly, every game on this list is basically a solid Saturday game. Maybe you know I don't want I'm not a fan of weekday games, so I wouldn't really want to put any game there. Um, yeah, I'm just not a fan of them. So that's basically the schedule, right now. And like I said, we just have to continue to wait and observe for the announcements of where these games will be shown exactly. But I do appreciate the swag rolling out all these announcements ahead of time. Um, that gives you more time to cover, everything that happens at media day itself. Um, Not that you expect, some grandiose stuff because it's like, a couple hours of coaches, majority of coaches doing coach speak and players doing, coach speak. So, you don't really expect a lot, but it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out. And, the order of finish is always something to kind of take a look at. So, we'll have that to go over. And I'm still juggling my time on how I wanna when I'm gonna drop something for media day tomorrow. I may do a video and have it available, about 6:30, 7 o'clock, or I might go live tomorrow night around 8:30 or so Central Time. I'm not 100% sure. Trying to just see how my schedule shakes out. But I will have something tomorrow, and of course Thursday, Swag Smoke, and we're gonna definitely be all about media day, um, and do our thing. So, with that being said, man, I am your tour guide around the Swag Seawells, signing out, and I will catch y'all on the rebound. Peace.